What's going on? Big A, the Manky Geek, coming at ya with another video, and I have seen Solo, a Star Wars story, twice. I saw it at midnight on Wednesday with a good friend of mine, a good friend I've known for ages actually, and I also saw it this afternoon as well, just to make sure that what I thought I saw was actually what I saw and that my opinions on it were correct, so they were just all solid. And yeah, I'm going to start off with talking about kind of like, I remember hearing about the film and I wasn't on board. I've got to be honest, I was not on board at all. It's kind of like you're messing with something that doesn't need to be messed with. You're taking a character that everybody loves, well, everyone who's a fan loves, and you're trying to do essentially a prequel treatment on it. And that is risky because if you get it wrong, that's part of the canon and you've just ruined something that was really good, and you're gonna send fans crazy, and then there's gonna be arguments as to whether it was actually good or not, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't super on board, but I was hoping and praying, even though I'm not religious, that that it would end up being good. And you know, when we heard that Phil Lord and Chris Miller got booted off the project, I was just kind of like, oh no, no, this is not good. This means that it isn't going well, because obviously we didn't get a full story as to why. I mean, apparently it was creative differences and there were kind of like some troubles on set, and it all seemed a bit haywire. And then Ron Howard gets called in, and I kind of like was like, okay, well, at least we know it's not going to be kind of a car crash. It's at least going to look nice. You know what I mean? If it's going to be rubbish, at least it looks nice. And as I saw more of it, as the trailers came out, I was like, huh, okay, this might be okay, like, this might be passable, this might be bearable. And then I saw the movie. And what's in the movie is much better than what's in the trailers. When they said Donald Glover was playing Lando, I was on board. I thought he could do the smooth thing. Most of the other people who were cast, I didn't know what they were cast as. Like, seeing Woody Harrelson in Star Wars is actually really good. And yeah, all the other actors, I was like, I don't know who anyone's playing, so I don't know how anyone's going to be important. Obviously, we're going to get the Kessel Run at some point. So for me, it was all kind of up in the air. There was like, it could be this, it could be that, it might be this, it might be that. I don't know, it could be any of those things, but I have to see it in order to have an opinion on it. And I know some people want to boycott this movie because they didn't like The Last Jedi, and I think this is going to be just as bad in their eyes, so they're boycotting. But I really think those people should go and see it, because if you go and see it and you don't like it, at least you can actually criticize it and justify your criticism. If you don't do that, then there's no point in like complaining about this movie or boycotting this movie, unless you really don't like Disney that much. um, there's no point in doing it. But yeah, like I said, I've seen it twice now, and I'm pretty solid with my ideas on it, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I was surprised how much I liked it. I was surprised at how good the action was. I was surprised at all the kind of supporting characters. I was just surprised about how into it I was. And one of the best things about it is like how short and well, how long it is, but it feels like a short movie. And just the overall experience was a good one. I think there's actually people who disliked The Last Jedi who will really like Solo, even though it's not Harrison Ford, even though Alden Ehrenreich doesn't look exactly like Harrison or have his mannerisms really. But as you're watching the film, kind of, you'll see, you get used to it, and you kind of like, he is actually playing the character, but in his own way, but it's still the same character. He says and does the same kind of things, and yada yada. So yeah, I liked it overall. I won't reveal any spoilers, obviously, in this video, because I really don't believe in doing spoilers. Me personally, I'd just rather not do them, because I don't want to rob someone's experience of seeing the movie. for the first time and being surprised by things that are in it. So I'll kind of go into explaining some things about the film, but kind of get into non-specifics about it and kind of just generally just talk about it. So the beginning of the movie, like, man, you're on Corellia. You're on Corellia. And you get to see what it's like. And I can only describe, and stay with me on this, I can only describe the beginning of the movie like Space Oliver Twist. That's the only way I know how to describe it. And Hans Hahn is quite young at this point in the movie, and there's something that happens, there's a lot of tension, and his life isn't an easy life. Essentially, my UK viewers will know what I'm talking about. Han Solo is pretty much a roadman. Like, he's pretty much a roadman. Like, all he does is hustle. That's all he's been taught growing up on the streets. Just a hustle. He's a street kid, you know what I mean? So he kind of wants to aspire to be more, and that's a great thing to have in a story. Someone who they want to aspire to be something else and to better themselves in some way. And it's that kind of main point about Han's story that makes you kind of just really get into it, and you really just go, okay, this guy's playing Han, whatever. And you just kind of let it go, and you start to enjoy kind of his version of Han, and seeing Han as a young man just in these situations. He's still the cocky, arrogant flyboy that he's always been, but because he's young and wet behind the ears, nobody respects him. Like, he doesn't get any respect. There's a lot of learning for Han in this movie. So yeah, you get the beginning. There's a really cool like speeder chase in there, which is like, man, there's some really good. It's like watching Fast and Furious with speeders. That's how good it was. I was just like, I'd watch a whole movie that was Star Wars Fast and Furious. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'd watch that shit and I'd enjoy it as well, man. But yeah, the beginning, great speeder chase. Good kind of introduction as to like what Han's life is like. And then there's something that happens and we get a bit of a time jump to a couple of years later, and we get to see kind of like Imperials like fighting a battle, but you see it from ground troop perspectives. So the infantry soldiers, and all that stuff is great as well. We get to see like Beckett and some of the other new characters. One of my favorite new characters would be Rio. I really liked Rio, voiced by Jon Favreau. And then we get the train heist that you've seen in the trailers. Boy, the train heist, it's a long sequence, but the pacing is fantastic. So much happens and there is so much on the line, and it is great. Like, the first time I saw it, like, I missed some things because it was that good. But seeing it again, I got to see everything this time, and it was just like, oh my god, this heist train sequence is absolutely brilliant. It's just so well done. It's like, I feel like Ron Howard kind of just stepped in this thing and was just like, I got this, man. Me and my cap got this, because it was just so confidently done. Like I said, the pacing was great. Switches from this character to that character to this character to this thing that's going on over here, back again, but it never gets confusing. It's like a great bit of the movie. I would say there's kind of more than... Actually, I'm not going to say that. I will say this though. The story's good because it's all to do with kind of mobsters and whatnot and gangsters. And so it gives you an extra something that you'd need in a normal movie. There's kind of more of that thing because you never quite know as to... But yeah, that's really good. I know this is kind of cryptic, but stick with me on this. So the main kind of thing, I won't say the reason as to why they do the Castle Run, because again, I don't want to rob that of you. But oh my god, like, like that sequence, like when I was watching it at like 2 a.m. in the morning, I was just kind of like going, am I dreaming? Am I seeing this right? because this whole sequence is insane. Like, they can't seriously be doing this, and they did. Like, again, there's a big chunk of it I'm gonna have to miss out because I don't want to rob you of the experience. But obviously, you knew the Kessel Run was coming, and yeah, the way they do it is, oh man, just the speed, just the peril, it's just everything, just all at once, and that's when you really kind of feel the Star Warsiness of it all. And that's when you smile because it's things that people say which are like familiar, they'll be familiar to fans. So those are like the two biggest sequences in the film. There are a few other sequences as well. But yeah, I've left a lot of story elements out in this kind of essentially kind of non-spoiler review, just because, like I said, I want you guys to experience the film as it is and enjoy it. Now, I really liked all the actors in it, all the characters, chemistry between them. Like Tobias Beckett, great character. Val, really good character. Rio, good character. Lando Calrissian, Donald Glover, man, smashes it. Like, he's a great, great Lando. He's really good. Kira's really interesting. Really interesting. You'll see why in the film. And Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. I don't know what it is. I'm glad he didn't do a Harrison Ford impression. But in him not doing that, felt more like he was actually Han. It's weird. It's like you just need to see it for yourself. But it's actually really nice, like the things that he does. He does like certain Han kind of like poses and like the way he kind of like leaning on things and all that. But it all felt organic. There is a major surprise towards the end of the movie, which I'm not even going to hint towards, because if I hint towards it, I'll give it away. And you won't be expecting it, because I didn't expect it. And then when I saw it, I kind of figured out what it was, but I didn't expect it. Like, it was literally a shock. And there's so much fan service in this. Again, I really, even though it's not even spoilers, I could mention names of things, and that will be taking it away from your experience of it. But there's loads of fan service. There's a specific bit with Kira on Kessel, on Spice Mines of Kessel. When you hear what it is, you'll know. Like, you will know. They say something, and if you're around in, like, I don't know, the mid-90s, and I don't want to say it, I'm not going to say it, but if you're around in the mid-90s, and let's say, for example, if you played video games, you'll know it when it's said. That's all I'm saying. I cannot say anymore. What else? Oh, it's just the heightiness of the whole thing. I feel, no, I can't even say that, but I do feel like there's more to this. Like, there could be another film featuring these characters, because it's, again, I can't say anymore. I don't want to say anymore because it'll spoil it for you. I know it's really annoying for you as a viewer, for me to go, ooh, there might be this thing, and then for me to go, no, I can't say anything. But I would say definitely go and see the movie kind of as soon as you can. Something weird happened. I was on Instagram like 2 days ago. I actually saw like the opening, or part of the opening of the movie, where it says the logo, Solo Star Wars movie. But I didn't realize, I thought it was just a bit of advertising. So yeah, try and stay away from social media and people like posting up clips of the movie. I feel sorry for this film if it doesn't make as much money as it should because of the negative press it got. I think the movie websites and whatnot really bought into the idea of it being crap. So they pushed the clickbait articles about it, about Disney not liking it and thinking it was rubbish, so they're going to release it in the summer around Infinity War so people forget about it. It's a really good movie. Like, I'm not ashamed to say that I enjoyed Solo, a Star Wars story. I thought it was really good. It is an adventure, it's action. Han is in over his head with a lot of situations. He's a young lad at this point, so it's not a hero's journey, it's a scoundrel's journey. He's a scoundrel, he's an outlaw. He lives by a different code, different rules, which he is taught mainly in this film, actually, to be honest. And Chewbacca as well. I forgot to mention Chewbacca. It's so good to have a whole film of just like Oh, what would you know? And all stuff like that. I love the banter between the two, and that you don't get to hear what Chewie says, but you know what he says from the responses that, you know, Han gives. CGI was dope. All of it was dope. Like, the train sequence is so dope. The CGI is so good. For some reason, it didn't register in my brain as CGI. There is a villain in the movie who was a bit like, what? But then when you get to the end, you kind of go, ah, but it's still a bit like, what? You know what I mean? But you'll get it. And then you'd be like, how does this fit in with all the other things that are canon, which were the creation? So again, I'm being kind of cryptic, but I don't want to ruin it for you. Keep on saying it. I know it's annoying. Downvote this video if it's annoying. I'm so sorry. But yeah, my overall opinion on Solo: A Star Wars Story is that it was above average. It's not. Some people are like, oh, it's average. I've seen some comments saying it's barely. It's just about decent. Lies, 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 lies. Oh, I did mention on Twitter that there was one bit of cringe, a tiny bit of cringe. Some of that cringe comes from L337. If they did that once or twice, what they did, then I'd be like, ah, ha, 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 ha. But it was one note and they kept on doing it. All the other things L3 did, I loved. Like, there's this great conversation that she has with Kira. So good. I thought it was really funny as well. But yeah, man. Yeah, I like this movie. I like it. My mate who saw it, he liked it more than Rogue One. Which I was like, whoa, really? You know what I mean? I don't know which one I prefer out of these two anthology films, whether Rogue One or Solo, because I think they're two different things. One's like more of a generic adventure movie, and the other one is like a downer war movie. And I think people who didn't like The Last Jedi will actually prefer Solo. So maybe we'll have to stop calling it Soilo. I say we, I never called it that, but people who have been calling it that, maybe they'll have to stop calling it that, because it was actually decent. You know what I mean? I went there going, I wasn't even excited. The only moment I got excited is when it said, a long time ago in a galaxy far away. That wasn't even excitement, that was more kind of fear. When it said a long time ago in a galaxy far, far, far away, I was like, is this gonna be any good? Is it gonna be any good? Please don't be cringe, please don't be crap, please be better than the prequels. And for me it was, and I enjoyed it, I liked it. So let me know if you plan on going to see Solo: A Star Wars Story like this weekend or in the weeks that it's out in cinemas. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notified as to when a new video is out. And if you've seen it, let me know what you think. Try not to reveal spoilers, because kind of it's not fair, kind of, you know what I mean. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.